I hear new cruisers always saying, "Oh, I didn't think of that," or "I'm definitely bringing this on my next cruise." Stick around and I'll share some of those packing items with you so you look like a veteran cruiser. Hey cruisers, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Barb and I'm so glad you could join me. Aside from the obvious things like your clothes, your bathing suits, your toiletries, I'm going to share with you some of the packing suggestion hacks and tips that experienced users use that will help you enhance your trip. Most of these items I take, or I actually have modified slightly based on my personal preferences, and you will too eventually. Before we dive in, and I forget to mention it, please hit the subscribe button below so you're sure to stay in the loop with all things cruising. The first item, it really isn't something you pack, but I need to mention it as I absolutely love these things. Luggage tag holders. When you get your travel documents from your cruise line, once you print them out, you need to fold them based on the folding instructions. Then you have to attach them to your bag with a stapler. Well, what if it's raining? These tags are paper after all. They can possibly rip or get torn off. Without a tag, how will the porters know where to take your bag? They're going to end up somewhere on the ship and it's going to take you a long time to find them. Trust me. So these luggage tags you can purchase from Amazon or Shein to keep your tags protected and securely attach them to your bag. They do come in different sizes, so be sure to purchase the tag holder sized for your cruise line. For example, this one was for Royal Caribbean, so you'll notice the size. It's long and skinny. And this one is the one that I have for Carnival cruises. It's, a little wider and not as long and narrow. So make sure you're buying the right luggage tag sized holders. Just a little tip, if you buy them from Shein, make sure you have plenty of time to get them because their shipping does take quite a while. If you're getting them off Amazon, if you have Prime, you can probably get them within a day or two, if not within the week. Okay, so these are definitely my go-to tags. I've had my first set, I got a set of 10, and I've had them probably for 5 years now, and they're still going strong. The next thing we're going to talk about is our staterooms. We all know how small our staterooms can be, unless you're lucky enough to stay in a suite, which means space is limited. And depending on how many people are staying in your stateroom, it gets even smaller. So you really need to start thinking vertical. I don't like things laying all over my cabin floor or on the chair or on the sofa, like backpacks being tossed on the sofa or hats or purses. So this next item helps with that. Any guesses? Magnetic hooks. If you're a new cruiser, you probably didn't know that the walls in your cabin are made of steel, so you can use magnets on your wall. These heavy-duty magnets have hooks, so they're so heavy-duty I can't get them out of the box. Look, but I bring them with me on every single cruise. So I just hang them up on the wall. They stick right on the wall. They'll stick on your door too if you want to do some door decorating. But I hang my hats, all my small purses, I hang my jackets up. The guys use it for their backpacks, their hats, their lanyards, and so on. Can you get away with not having these in your cabin or not purchasing them? Of course. I mean, these are all just things that giving you some ideas, things that I like. Like I said, I take these on every single cruise. I divide them up and give them to the people that are in my party. We make space vertically. When I'm first coming in to the cabin, I usually have a couple of these right next to the door, so I can take off, if I'm wearing a lanyard, I can take it off and hang it right on the hook. Or a hat, my big sun hat, the big floppy brimmed hats, I hang one of those up on the wall. It just keeps things picked up and organized. Maybe I'm OCD. If you're like me, I like things to be neat and tidy, and it's really hard to do that in a very small cabin on a cruise ship. So again, I got these from Amazon. Most of the stuff we're going to talk about today, I got them from Amazon. Okay, the third item. People are going to argue this next item really isn't needed. And I would agree if you're a solo traveler. But if you have multiple people sharing your bathroom space in a cabin, you really have limited storage. So for that reason, I still see the benefit and I still use mine. Do you have any idea what this one is? I'm talking about the shoe organizer. Just a cheap plastic one. Here's why I love them. I hang them on the back of my bathroom door. Actually, I hang them on the inside of my bathroom door. So when you shut the bathroom and you're in the bathroom, everything is there for you. But you can see anything that you put in there. So you're not hunting through all of those little bags, or maybe you left stuff in your luggage and you put it under your bed. You're not looking for those, things under your bed and trying to figure it out, and getting frustrated when maybe you got people waiting for you down the hall or at a show and you're just trying to run in. Maybe you needed a Tylenol and you're just trying to run in and get something. Can't figure out where you put it. So it's a quick grab and go situation. I put everything in mine. So I put my medicine in there, put my sunscreen, chapstick, hairbrush, lotions, deodorant. I even store my flip-flops along the bottom row. For those of you with small children or even infants, you can put some diapers in there and wipes, you name it. All that small stuff that takes up all that counter space all the time. You get it off the counter and you just put it in that vertical shoe organizer. Now you can see it. So I did fail to take it on my last cruise. My mistake. I really thought we could do without it. I got questioned by my husband, by my boys. Where's the shoe organizer? Where's the shoe organizer? So I guess the family really likes it as much as I do. So again, you decide. I think when I travel solo, which I do quite often, I guess it depends on my mood if I bring it with me or not. But when I'm traveling with anyone else in my cabin, it is coming along. It's a necessity for me. You guys can decide if you want to do it or not. I'm seeing people nowadays say, no, we're not doing them anymore. But, you get into your old habits and things that you just like to do certain ways. The shoe organizer for me is just one of those things. Okay. The fourth item is a must if you're going to a warm weather destination: sunscreen. Please don't forget your sunscreen. If you're not used to being in the Caribbean or any other hot destination, you're going to be surprised at how hot the UVA index is. It's so much higher than what you're used to at home, and you're going to get fried like a lobster. It's so funny. Watch. Mark my word. Go on your next cruise, and about the third day, count how many people you see walking around that are just blood red because they either didn't put sunscreen on or they didn't reapply it. Especially the kiddos. Bring some aloe or after sun just in case you do get too much, because that really helps soothe the burn. One thing I really didn't know until probably last year sometime was more and more tropical destinations are banning harmful chemicals often found in traditional sunscreen. One of the best ways to preserve aquatic wildlife is to wear reef-safe sunscreen. These products don't contain any chloral bleaching, and they're just as protective and nourishing as regular sunscreen too. Just search Reef Safe sunscreen on Amazon. They have plenty. You'll be surprised that you already probably are using it and didn't even realize it. Most of my favorite brands have already complied and they have changed their formulas. So don't forget your sunscreen. Wow, this next one, if I forget it, I am doomed. So I have been getting motion sick since I was a child. Just traveling in the car with my parents, just so sick. So I have to be in the front seat when somebody's in a car, or I have to be driving. Otherwise, I still get sick, even as an adult. And most recently, I've also been diagnosed with vertigo. Wow, lucky me, huh? So being on a boat is no different. Probably worse, because you're inside a lot more and you're not able to see that horizon. And if you're not looking at the horizon directly in front of you, those of you who get motion sick, you know what I'm talking about. That's when you start feeling it. Obviously, if you know you get motion sickness, you probably already have your go-to product. And I'm not here to convince you to switch up what you're doing today. I'm just going to share with you what I do and what I know others do, and then you can make a decision. Or if you're new to cruising and you're not sure if you get seasick or not, there's plenty of choices that I'm going to cover, and you can decide what you'd like to try, because I don't recommend going on your first cruise without taking something with you. Because trust me, seasickness is no joke. Once you get it, it's very hard to shake. I take Bonine. For those of you who haven't heard of it, here it is. Bonine, Bonine. They have different versions of it. They have the adult version, which is what I have, and they have a children's version. And I recently learned from a friend from Crazy Legs Travel that they also make one with ginger, because ginger also settles your stomach. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that one. Some of the other things that you guys might be using out there, Dramamine, that's been around forever. Sea bands. You'll see a lot of people with bands, and they have, it's like a pressure point type of a thing. The other thing is ginger. Some people like to get ginger candy or just take ginger with them. Ginger is supposed to be soothing, if you have an upset stomach. I just learned about this one, green apples. Green apples will settle a nauseous stomach. Door magnets, not a necessity, but fun. You can find your cabin so much faster when you're going down that long corridor and every door looks the same. If you have your door decorated, you're going to be able to spot yours. If you have little kids with you, they're going to be able to spot their own door. Get creative. I've seen the best doors out there. It's crazy what people can do. So you can make your own, or you can buy something from Etsy. They do custom on Etsy. Amazon has some custom designs and some just regular designs. So let's see, like I had this made when one of my sons graduated. We went on a cruise and this was on the door, and then all the boys had turtles that kind of went all over the door. I'll find a picture and I'll put it up on the video next to me, but we had all these little turtles going all over the place with the graduation thing. We have little caution, towel animals are on the loose, magnets, cruise mode on. Let's see, what else I have? When I go with my girlfriends, we have good friends don't drink and drive, they sip and cruise, and then we all have our own nameplates. If I can grab mine here. So Barb, and then all of my friends, we all have one in different colors, so we'll put those around the door. I haven't made my own. I usually buy them because I don't have time to make them, but I know you guys are very creative. So I'd love to see your pictures. If you've made your own door decorations, if you've been on a holiday cruise, it's really fun to decorate. I know Disney does a fantastic job with decorating during the holidays, and there's so many really cute door decorations for Disney. So post a picture. I would love to see them. It gets so windy up on the pool deck, especially if you're at that very top level. Like you might have the pool deck here, and then you have one more level where you just can lay out around. It is so windy up there. Your towels will fall down. If you lay like your cover up over the back of your chair, it's gonna blow away. And I know you have all had, let me grab mine. Here's mine. You all have seen these. I think I had another pair too with some flamingos. Put them on the back of your chair to hold your towel in place. But you know what? When you're packing these things, they can get a little bulky. So I switched. So I stopped taking these with me. I use these just at home up at our pool. So what I have are towel bands. So I switched to these last year, and they work wonderful. They pack flat, so I don't take them in this usually. This is just what I store them in at home. But when I'm packing for my cruise, I just lay them flat at the bottom of my luggage and then pack everything on top of them. But this is what it looks like. It's like a big rubber band. Then you just stretch them out and you put them back, over the top of your chair, and they hold everything in place. I will tell you, if you have any dexterity issues, you might need a little help. Sometimes I have to get my friend or my husband or whoever's traveling with me at the time to take one end, and then I take the other, and we kind of do it together. And it's easier just to get the towel up through there when it's so windy. But I've switched to these. These still work just the same. It's just the difference in what you're packing. I'm trying to be a better packer. I'll let you know when that happens. Okay, here's a PSA. Bring with you cold medication, antacids, disinfectant wipes. Even if you're not sick, just bring some from home. Don't go grocery shopping and trying to buy all this stuff because that'll cost a fortune. But bring what you already have, just in case. Tums, or Rolaids. They do sell this stuff on the ship, but it is a small fortune. And if you're starting to not feel well, just better to have your own stuff. Take it, grab it out of your shoe organizer. A USB hub. This one is growing in popularity as times are changing. A lot of old ships do not have more than 1 or 2 outlets in the cabin, which in today's world is causing a pain point since so many devices need to be hooked up. We've got phones and watches and tablets and readers and laptops and cameras, most of which are now all charging by either, USB, USB-C, or whatever the next one's going to be. Grab a lightweight hub and bring it along. So you can bring these on the ship. They don't want you to bring like a surge protector with all the plug holes in it, but you can bring a USB kind of a port, something like this. I've seen them like this. I've seen flat ones. This way, everyone can plug in, and it eliminates the need to have another outlet. Many of you might be doing this next one, or maybe you do it on other trips, but do it on your cruise too. So bring an extra bag. If you're anything like me, and I think I alluded to it earlier, I overpack. Then I go shopping when I'm on my trip, and I have to figure out how I'm getting the souvenirs or whatever I bought back in a bag that is already overstuffed. Bring an extra tote or even just a plastic bag. Lay it flat in your luggage, and it doesn't add really any extra weight, but it will provide additional options if you need another bag on your trip home. I also toss in a couple of those plastic grocery bags just to put any wet bathing suits in or any dirty shoes so they don't get all over my other clothes. Because on that last day, your bathing suit is probably not going to dry out overnight before you've got to pack it and either sit your suitcases out or be prepared to leave in the morning. So I bring those and I just throw wet bathing suits in there, I tie them up, and they're good to go until I get home. Okay, just because you guys have stuck around for so long and you're still listening to me talk about packing, here's a little hack. Bring a few Ziploc bags. When you go to the buffet, grab a couple little cookies or some vegetables, but I always go for the cookies. You know which ones I like the best are those coconut cookies. They call them Ranger cookies that they have on Royal Caribbean. Oh my gosh, I'll take like 3 of those and put them in a baggie, and then I bring them back to my cabin. And when I'm late at night, if I get hungry, I don't have to run out and go anywhere. I can just eat my cookies, or you have something to give the kiddos when you're walking around the port and they're hungry and you're just not ready to go in to eat yet, or even at the pool. It's nice to be able to sit up at the pool, have a little snack without everybody trying to run to the buffet every 5 minutes. So you can give them something when they're hungry. Okay, save the best for last, at least in my opinion. I guess because it's my most recent switch. So in the past, we would do lanyards. Wear a lanyard. Everybody in the family had a different color lanyard. We got a little fancy and we got some lanyards that had like cruise ships on them, or, they have some pretty ones. I had one that had rhinestones. They can, mix and match with your outfits of the day. But I got tired of the lanyards because if you bought them and they're in something that looks like this with the plastic container, every time you go to purchase a drink or show them your card or whatever, you have to try to get in there and open it up, take it out. It was just a pain in the butt for me. Or they punch a hole in your SeaPass card. They used to do this back in the day. Put a hole in your SeaPass card. That was easier because just to get in your door, because a lot of the older cruise ships, you have to put your card into the slot and pull it out. And when you're wearing your lanyard, you've got to take it off, then you can do that. Some of the bartenders required you to take it out or hand it to them. So it's just a lot easier with the hole punch. But now that they're using chips inside of their cards, they really are frowning upon using the hole punch in the corner unless they do it because they know exactly where that hole needs to go. So if you have a lanyard, people still use them. I think I bought one on the last cruise, but my latest and greatest love has been a card holder. So I bought this card holder. I saw it before. I'm going to show you this back on my phone. I saw it, somebody recommended it, but I didn't think that the card would stay in place. I was a little nervous about losing the card, to be honest with you. I was also a little nervous about this thing coming off the back of my phone. But guess what? I put this on here in September, on my September cruise. And it hasn't come off yet. I don't know if it's going to come off. I haven't really tried, but it's on here pretty darn good. And I loved it because I'd put my CPass card in here. So anytime I needed to get my CPass card out, I just pulled it out, hand it to them, and I could just put it right back in there. Now, depending on your ship, if you have a brand new ship, you probably are just touching the outside of your door to get in. But then once you get in your cabin, you need to put your card down in a slot to turn all your lights on. So if it's on a lanyard, and especially if it's in the packing kind like that, that won't go down in that slot for the lights. So this is my new go-to. I just really enjoyed that. And you don't have to get one with the little decorations on it. I liked it because it looked like a cruise. They have them just plain colors, things like that. So I think my family at this point is switching away from the lanyards and we're all doing this, or the guys are just putting them in their pocket. I think they're kind of over the lanyards. The lanyards and the card holders, you can get them, and I feel like I'm a promo queen for Amazon right now, but I'm not. I'm sure you can get them other places. I just happen to find them on Amazon. I think some of the stuff you could find at Target. Yeah, I mean, everything that I showed you today is probably under $10, so pretty inexpensive. Enjoy your cruise. Take maybe one of these things that I suggested and try it out and see how you like it. Please let me know what you're using or what you have that I haven't shared, because I'd love to include that on maybe a future video. Don't forget to pack your positive attitude. You are on vacation. You're not at home. You're not at work. Enjoy your cruise. Don't sweat the small stuff. If you forget something, it's okay. You're probably gone for a week. If you're gone for longer than that, good for you. But if you're only gone for a week, or maybe it's just a weekend cruise, I'm sure you can get by. Hey, if you haven't already done so, again, a reminder to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. And until next time, happy sailing.